We're going to go over pre-inspections today. What are pre-inspections? It is when a property is getting ready for sale that the home, pest, roof, and foundation, if needed, inspections are done. Foundation inspections are not always required, only when there is some type of indication that there is an issue. And if there is that, I highly recommend you spending the $600-700 that it costs to get it. I recommend doing it. Now, why are they important? For the seller, it allows the risk of not having surprises. It allows a seller, prior to putting in the market, to address any issues that they want to address. If they decide to sell it as is, that is always an option that they can do. But it gives them the upper hand of providing a package of information to the buyers and saying, hey, here's what my property condition is. Submit an offer as you see fit. Now, that for the seller, yeah, it's probably going to cost about $1,500 plus or minus that fee to get all those inspections, but I highly recommend it because it helps with peace of mind. Now, getting a roof inspection will tell you about the condition of the roof. It's always a question. Home inspection really goes over a lot of the components inside the house. Pest will go over pests and all the different aspects of that. Now, the foundation, if there is any question about foundation, people want to know what is going on with the foundation, because then it makes them feel insecure or not know what gauge of pricing that would be for a repair. And if that is upfront, then people will know the condition and make offers accordingly. Now, that could also help avoid, when it's time to look at offers, avoid haggling, avoid price reductions as far as, when someone puts an offer, having to later on say, oh, I found out because there was no inspections, I found out there's all this damage, I want to reduce the price, or I want you to take care of repairs. So that is very stressful for a seller when they're waiting and there isn't any inspections. They're waiting to figure out whether they still have a buyer once they finish their inspections. Are they going to ask for price reductions, or are they going to ask for repairs? We don't want to put it onto the buyers as far as them being on the driver's seat. We want the sellers to know exactly what to expect, because even if the buyers decide to get their own inspections, which they have the right to do, the chances of them finding something new are minimal. And if they do find something new, it may, besides what was already provided, it may be minimal enough to where it's easy to negotiate the repairs or a strategy to make it work for everybody. Now, when I'm a buyer's agent and I put a offer on our property, if there are no inspections, best believe I will use that as a strategy to definitely reduce the price or get repairs done, because I need to advocate for my client. So when you don't do that, I am already ready to negotiate on my client's behalf to make sure that we get the best terms possible for my client to make sure they feel comfortable. Now, if I'm a buyer's agent representing a buyer in a very competitive situation where there's more than 2 to 3 offers and I have to waive my inspection contingency or waive any contingencies, if the inspections are present, then I can review it with the buyer and we can analyze the risk and say, does it feel safe to remove inspection contingency or does it not? Or does everything look okay, but we just need to look into further, maybe the foundation or maybe the roof or something that stood out on the report. We could just kind of isolate it to that. So those are just the things that could happen when inspections are provided or when they're not. Also, when a house is even a fixer, I have my fixer clients, my investors who put bids on properties. Even if they are investors, they still need to know the condition of the property. So in order for them to run the numbers to say, okay, here's what's going to cost to upgrade the property, here's all the repairs that I need to take care of, it gives them upfront a way to analyze their numbers right away, so they're not putting in offers blindly. So yes, even for fixers, definitely get inspection reports, because everybody needs to know what the product is and how, and we don't want any surprises. So that is my tip. I know in the Bay Area we provide a really nice robust disclosure package. Outside of the area, I've seen in Sacramento or in even Nevada. I do business in Nevada. They don't do inspections. I'm actually dealing with something right now where they leave it to the buyer. So I have a client that's putting an offer on a property in the Bay Area, and they're selling their property in Nevada, and the buyer has a 15-day inspection contingency. So when I'm putting an offer for my client, we don't know if that buyer is going to walk away because there was no inspections provided up front. So that makes it really nerve-wracking for everybody, because my client is going to go put an offer on a property, but they still have to wait a certain amount of days to be able to see if that buyer is still around, because that buyer is going to be part of their down payment. That sale of their home is going to be their down payment. And the listing agent on my buyer side is going to feel a bit nervous, because they don't want to take an offer that's going to hold up their client's sale, and then my client's buyers back out. So there's so many different ways to go about this, but it's pretty nerve-wracking if you don't have inspections. So please, please, please take my word for it. Don't leave it to the buyers to do it up front. I don't care if it's not standard in your area. Do it. I would tell you, you're going to stand out. The way you're going to have smoother business, you're going to have less you're going to just have less surprises, and it's just going to be better business for everybody. Hopefully that is a great tip for you that you can take and share with anyone that you think that's helpful for. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. Thank you for listening.